Hello! Hello and welcome again. Again, if you've been here before and if this is your first time on this channel, then a very cordial welcome to you, of course, as well. Next week I will start reading some more light-hearted and funny stories after having read some dark and twisted ones, right? And yes, expect the master of satire, Mark Twain. I have some incredible stories for you. But before I will do that, here is the first of 3 very short stories that I have been wanting to read for quite a while. By the by, there will be a pretty big announcement about a new novel that I will be reading and about some ideas that I have for this channel, so stay tuned. But, well, to the story. The first of the 3 stories that I'm going to read is Azathoth by H.P. Lovecraft, a short story that was written in 1922 but was never completed by its author. It was published posthumously in 1938 and is the first piece of fiction to mention Azathoth, one of the major entities in Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. The story itself is a fragment of a novel that Lovecraft never finished or never wrote, a novel inspired by the Arabian Nights and the novel Vathek by William Thomas Beckford. While Azathoth is only 480 words long, it nevertheless contains a wealth of imagery and symbolism and really invites the reader or listener to interpret and speculate. And I'm really interested in your thoughts and your interpretation. So if you want to, let us know about your thoughts and interpretation on the story in the comments. I hope you will enjoy listening to this classic piece of weird fiction by one of the masters of horror. Let's begin. Here is Azathoth. When age fell upon the world, and wonder went out of the midst of man, when great cities reared to smoky skies, tall towers grim and ugly, in whose shadow none might dream of the sun or of spring's flowering meads, when learning stripped earth of her mantle of beauty, and poets sang no more save of twisted phantoms seen with bleared and inward-looking eyes. When these things had come to pass, and childish hopes had gone away forever, there was a man who travelled out of life on a quest into spaces whither the world's dreams had fled. Of the name and abode of this man but little is written, for they were of the waking world only, yet it is said that both were obscure. It is enough to know that he dwelt in a city of high walls, where sterile twilight reigned, and that he toiled all day among shadows and turmoil, coming home at evening to a room whose one window opened not on the fields and groves, but onto a dim court, where other windows stared in dull despair. From that casement one might see only walls and windows, except sometimes when one leaned far out and peered aloft at the small stars that passed. and because mere walls and windows must soon drive to madness a man who dreams and reads much, the dweller in that room used night after night to lean out and peer aloft, to glimpse some fragment of things beyond the waking world and the greyness of tall cities. After years he began to call the slow-sailing stars by name and to follow them in fancy when they glided regretfully out of sight, till at length his vision opened to many secret vistas whose existence no common eye suspects, and one night a mighty gulf was bridged and the dream-haunted skies swelled down to the lonely watcher's window to mere with the close air of his room and make him a part of their fabulous wonder. There came to that room wild streams of violet midnight glittering with dust of gold, vortices of dust and fire swirling out of the ultimate spaces, and heavy perfumes from beyond the worlds. Opiate oceans poured there, litten by suns that the eye may never behold, and having in their whirlpools strange dolphins and sea nymphs of unrememberable deeps. Noiseless infinity eddied around the dreamer and wafted him away without even touching the body that leaned stiffly from the lonely window, and for days not counted in man's calendars, the tides of far spheres bear him gently to join the dreams for which he longed, the dreams that man have lost. And in the course of many cycles that tenderly left him sleeping on a green sunrise shore, a green shore fragrant with lotus blossoms and starred by red camelot.